We know that Cliff Kingsbury likes things a particular way in terms of the offense, keeping DeAndre Hopkins on one side of the field. And I think maybe bringing in Hollywood Brown may help him to keep that from happening, so that you can be a little bit more dynamic, a little bit different, not be so predictable in the offense. When you talk about a guy with the speed that Hollywood Brown has, he does have the connection with Kyler Murray over there at Oklahoma. So I like that they got him. I just don't like the price tag, man. You have to pay him and everything too, and a new contract. But maybe he ends up being the Hollywood Brown that came out of Oklahoma. I like it, but I don't like it. I'm not gonna say I'm on the fence. I'm more that I like it than I don't like it. I just don't like what they gave up for it.
I was a big fan of Hollywood Brown coming out of Oklahoma. Guys before like Deshaun Jackson, where they might not make every play, but they're going to make a difference how you can scheme it up. Can make an impact on the offense, even if they're not catching every ball. It's just schematically. And I think Kingsbury making this trade for Hollywood Brown, pairing him up with Kyler Murray, he has to earn his job now. He has to scheme it up because you have a dynamic force in Hollywood Brown that could stretch the field. You got to move Hopkins around. You got Rondell Moore. So now you got to earn your money. You can't just run the same vanilla thing all the time, and you have to open up your playbook a little more because of Hollywood Brown. So once the trade was made, it was a little bit puzzling. But then once you find out Hopkins is out for the first 6 games, and Hollywood Brown's only a 24-year-old receiver that was very high on my board. So you missed out on the receiver run in the first round. I'm not really mad at the trade for the 23rd pick. McBride was my tight end one. He just has the total package. It kind of reminds me like a Hunter Henry-like ceiling where he could block, he could run routes, he could catch passes. You have Zach Ertz. I know Zach Ertz is 31 years old. You just re-signed him again. How are they gonna use him? You don't draft Trey McBride in the second round and just keep him behind Zach Ertz 10% snap count or something like that. You have to play him with Zach Ertz. So I'm just wondering how that's gonna look schematically for Kingsbury, but the player, man, I have no problem with the player here. Trey McBride is a very talented tight end.
I didn't understand it, and I just think there's limitations to, what Kingsbury does with the players that he has. That they're spread out. I know Zach Ertz, he came in there and he made an immediate impact when they traded for him. I don't know now that you're saying you got a Zach Ertz, now that you're saying you got a Trey McBride, now that you're saying you got a Marquise Brown, and you got your Rondell Moore from last year, and who knows what's going to happen with Andy Isabella, and then you have DeAndre Hopkins. Like, I don't know that Kingsbury is the coach that is, you give him all the toys, and then you can see it just magically just all come together. I don't know if he's that coach. Has he evolved? Because that's what we've been waiting on, since after year one. Can he evolve? And he's yet to do that. And now you add another toy into that offense, and I don't know. I don't know. Like, honestly, I feel like the pick was wasted because I'm going by track record, and the track record tells me that he's going to continue to do what he's always done. So I don't understand the pick. I like it from a standpoint of they've added more talent and given more weapons for Kyler Murray, but I don't know, man. I really do like Cameron Thomas for these guys, and like you said, he can do a little bit of both inside outside work. Majai Sanders. Nah, bro, I don't like the fit here. And he's to me, he's a bit of a tweener. And so my question is, what are you doing with him? What are you doing? What's the plan? Is he going to be a pass rush specialist? Because I don't know that I'm putting him out there against the run to defend the edge. That's definitely what I'm not doing. Are you going to drop him back into space to have him cover? I don't know if he can do that on a consistent basis if he's playing outside linebacker. I don't know, man. I don't really. Nah, this ain't. Nah, I'm not feeling it, man.
I love Cam Thomas. This guy, I think if you add on a little more weight, some strength, that 5 technique, hand in the ground, JJ Watt's probably on his way out soon. So I think he disruptor in the run game. That's how he uses his hand. He's a technician with his hands. So I think Cameron Thomas was a A+ pick. Majai Sanders now, like you said, to me, he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. They might play him on like a strong side linebacker a little bit. Off ball maybe. So it depends on the role they're going to do with Majai Sanders, but I think he could get after the quarterback. I think he's quick, slippery. He also has a good first step. You just got to get a more plan of attack, know what he's doing, man. He's a lot of agility, a lot of speed, but just some technique stuff to get after the quarterback. But it'll be interesting to see how they use Majai Sanders, but as a talent, I really like Sanders.
With Ingram, I think he gives him a little bit of a a different flavor in terms of out the backfield work, can catch out the backfield. I think he's probably going to be regulated to being a third down back because obviously they just brought back James Conner, and I think he actually did some good work last year. And I think he's a good fit for what they got going on there. And then Smith, he was out there at the Senior Bowl, and if I remember correctly, he was kind of a guy that was very aggressive, and when he locks in, he's good. He's beat, he's able to kind of recover, but you don't always necessarily want that. You want a guy that can get out there, get up, get his guy moving, not to jump ahead. Because I know that, you know, in the 7th round, they went ahead and they drafted another offensive lineman that's kind of similar. They need offensive line. That was a concern as well, especially in the interior, and all over the line. But I think that they're trying to change the guard there in terms of mentality up front, because we knew what happened. It was bad in that playoff game. I mean, they had no hope, man. They really had no hope. And once they got to Kyler Murray, it was pretty much over. Lucchetti would play down 1-2, you know, where they could possibly run the football. And then when it's obvious passing down, you throw Sanders in there to go and let him eat.
Like I said, I liked Hollywood Brown trade after the fact, depending on how Kingsbury uses him and free up other guys on the field. The Trey McBride pick, I probably would have want to see an offensive lineman earlier. I know they drafted offensive lineman later in day 3, but I think that would have been a perfect spot right there to get an offensive lineman because you have Zach Ertz on the roster already. I love Cam Thomas and the Myjai Sanders pick. It's some ups and downs in this class, so I'm gonna land like a B-. I'll give him a B-.
I'm gonna go with a C. I'll give him an A for the A- for the Hollywood Brown trade. I was a little bit lower earlier, but talked myself through it, looked at, you know, finished off the draft and you know, I get it, got it. It's good. The Trey McBride thing is just a mystery to me. I don't understand it. Unless you're telling me that Kingsbury's is changing, then it could very well change to an A. And then I don't like the Myjai Sanders pick. I know Headley said he likes it. I don't really like it. Don't really care for it. Don't think it's a good fit. So I'm gonna slot these boys with a C. To me, it would have to be, and I've always felt this way about him. Unless he was planning on adding weight, bro, he was gonna be a one down player, 4-3 edge, scream off the edge, and do work, bro.
When I watched him in Cincinnati, it was like I liked when they had him, you know, standing up more. You know, they put his head in the ground a lot. I was like, yo, I like when even when he lined up over the A-B gap, I saw some athleticism there. So that would be my role for him, maybe 3-4 outside linebacker. I know you say you don't like him off ball, but I do like him in space between the A and B gaps also. You know what you're going to get. Tough, rugged, going to be really good to run. And I think that's where, you know, the Rams offensive lineman, I think the Rams offense with McVay starts with the run game. So if you get a guy that could block it up for Akers, Henderson, also the draft pick later on that we're going to speak about, Kyren Williams, yeah, I think it's good value here in the 3rd round.
Yeah, it looks like he's most likely. It looks like they have him listed here as a guard. He did play tackle, but he's a little too aggressive. Plays to be playing outside. Put him in that phone booth. Let him go to work. Move people, like Headley said. And he actually had a really good combine. Sparky guy, can move, good feet. And like you said, Juice, they develop offensive linemen well. There's certain positions on this team they do develop well. So, you know, you don't have to kill them for it. I think corner, safety, and offensive line, I think are the 3 that I can think off the top of my head that they actually develop very, very well, along with running back, I think. Let's say it, bro. Are you ready?
Say it.
That's Roger McCreary, bro. You know what I'm saying? The T-Rex arms. I'm just playing, just joking. But he does have short arms, but he's a faster, smaller Roger McCreary. And they develop this is one of the positions they develop. So let's go get some Sparky. Let's get a guy with some attitude, a guy who's willing to tackle, and let's just get him into our scheme and we'll work everything else out.
His hips are good. And just like a pick later I'm going to speak about is I think for their scheme, a team that can attack the quarterback, you know, I think he's going to probably play on the inside, Durant, but he could get in and out of his breaks quickly and attack the football and break on the football. So, you know, I think that in that scheme, he'd be a good fit. Like you said, pass catching, he come in right away and do that for them, catch the ball. I have him as I say he has Austin Eckler traits. He's not as dynamic or athletic as Eckler, but the traits are the same, man. He inside zone scheme, he can run that all day. He's really good in between the tackles. You can split him out. You can make him run routes out of the backfield, could catch, pass, protect. So, yeah, I think that's a great fit, man. A great 3rd running back to go along with with Akers and Henderson, like you said, that had some injury issues throughout their career.
Yeah, I'm gonna read my notes verbatim, bro. It says verbatim. Yeah, he fits perfect in the scheme that they run. It's chicken scratch, bro. You know, I write fast. Yeah. I write fast and small, bro. So you know what I'm saying? No, but he fits the scheme perfect. And this is a guy that McVay can draw up plays for in the passing game. It's a match made in heaven, man. It's really a match made in heaven for him. He's got that cerebral that you want. He's not the most athletic. I think speed seems to be the knock on him. Didn't run well at the combine, but he has that. I think his dad played in the league, if I'm not mistaken. So he has some pedigree there. But I'm looking at the.
Yeah. That's what I've seen Lake. You said his dad. I was like, that Carnell Lake. Okay.
You know. Yeah. And looking at the safeties that they have, and I'm trying to think of before as well, is they don't necessarily go for the bigger, the biggest, the fastest in terms of that position. They want more guys who are going to be where they're supposed to be, headsy, instincts, you know what I mean? And they'll figure out the rest later because the corners take care of business and they know the D-line going to do work. So don't necessarily have to be back there covering forever with the Rams defense. You just got to be where you're supposed to be to take away the lanes, and everything else should kind of fall into place.
He's not a character guy. He definitely got dismissed from Clemson, but he's experienced. 4 years. He does lack the top end speed and some strength, but the instincts, the quickness. He's very patient with his feet. Could come out in and out of his breaks, click and close ability. So, like you said, man, like we said in this draft with the other picks with Lake and Durant, he's going to be where he needs to be on the football field. The pressure is going to get after the quarterback, make the quarterback make quick decisions, and he's a guy that can break on the football. I definitely like him in this scheme in LA.
Yeah, I have here in my notes. He's an aggressive player. Like I said, he's got that click and close. I think he's going to be an outstanding special teams player to start. He's gonna make headway at some point during the season. He's going to be effective. He's got to work on beyond the 5, 6, 7 yard mark, because after that, it's like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? So if he can get you within that range, he got you, bro. So you can wrap it up, put a bow on it, you're done. But we in the league now. So you got to be able to win beyond that. Not that you got to win long with this defense you're going to be on, and maybe that's the point that they're bringing home by drafting him. But
it's a big boy league, man. Bro. It's a big boy league.
Yeah, it's a big boy league.
He lacking speed and strength in a big boy league.
Right.
He could be out the league if he doesn't catch on quickly.
Right. And I don't quite understand the pick of Daniel Hardy. I'm not sure. The tweeners always get me, bro. So I don't know what's the plan. You know what I mean? I think you'd be a hell of a special teamer. I just don't know outside of that what we're talking about. It's tough when you got a first or second round pick, right? So you kind of go to starting to get to the middle, bottom of the barrel, and for what for what their scheme is, for what they want to do, I'm going to give these boys, I'm going to give them a B+, man. Nah, we'll leave it as a B. Leave it as a B. Yeah. Nah, B+, because they won a Super Bowl with their first pick in Stafford. So B+.
Yeah, I was going to go solid B. Like you said, they are round 1 or round 2 picks, but I think they got quality players that's going to play a role. It probably won't be any starters. Maybe Bruss starts eventually for them, but these are going to be like role players that's going to play a good role for them. So I'm going to give him a solid B. I think he could drop back in coverage. He looks the part. He has the long arms. He's be able to affect the passer. So yeah, Drake Jackson, man, he's a hustle player. I think he could play on the edge. I even think he could play inside in certain situations, but this guy goes 110% to the football. He's a speed rusher. He can convert that speed to power. Yeah, I think the 49ers could use him to get after the quarterback.
This is one of those picks that towards the closer you got to the draft, is the more people started to talk about him. And I think he is very underrated. I think part of the issue is the way he was used at USC. I really hated that they dropped him back into coverage, or he had to set the edge and kind of hold it. And, because the offense was doing the RPO stuff. I feel like this is the guy, just let him rush. Just let him rush, because he got some tools. You know what I'm saying? He can get around. He's got that speed to power, like Headley said. Got the little dip. Like, he's got some things. You just didn't see everything. He wasn't able to pull out the whole toolbox, because every time you turn around, he's dropping back into coverage. And not that he's not good at it, because he is actually pretty good at it. Like Headley said, got the length and he looked comfortable in space. You're taking away from him too much when you ask him to do all those things. And I think 49ers, you got to let this dude just rush, bro. Come off the edge. And if you want to get cute from time to time, cool. Drop him back in the coverage, drop into that hole in the zone. But I got to see him coming off the edge, man. I think you're missing some things if you're not allowing him to do that. And if you want to get real cute, like Ellie said, throw him inside and let him do that work. Number one note I got here, man, when he sees hole, he hits hole. If he can see the hole, and you know them boys they're gonna block it up. We need you to hit it and go. And that's that. They always looking for that type of running back, and I think they got it here in Davis-Price, man. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's go.
Yeah, man. This is Shanahan running back. You know, size, speed, that one cut runner. Like you say, he sees he's going to burst through the hole. The 49ers have one of the best offensive lines in football. They're going to open up holes for him. They got Elijah Mitchell last year in the 6th round, and he fits the same profile as Davis-Price. Sermon, on the other hand, he didn't hit the ground running, so it's going to be a battle for RB2, and Davis-Price is I think he's the front runner to win that job, man. So, yeah, you know, Shanahan running, but you can't count these guys out, man.
Yeah.
They gonna produce. I think he can stretch the field. How he stacks DBs. You know, to me, I in my notes I got him as a poor man Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was my wide receiver one in the class, and I think Gray could do everything Wilson do. He can't do it at the level of Garrett Wilson, but just his ability to win in all three phases, the short, intermediate, and deep, stacking DBs. The 49ers desperately need somebody that can stretch the field for them. So IU, Debo, everybody could work underneath. So I think Danny Gray has a role for him. I think he's a sleeper in this class, man, especially for the team that he went to.
There was a reason for the move, bro. He's quick to get into his position, but he doesn't necessarily attack enough. And I think at guard, I think that's going to force him to say, okay, I have to attack. I have to go out and get, because when he locks in, he gets you, he's got you. But you got to be able to do it consistently. And I think pushing him into guard, I think may be the way to go. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's something you could probably fix, though, to play him out at tackle if you wanted to. But, you know, we'll see. If
he wants to see the football field, it'd be on the inside in San Francisco. They have the bookend tackles, and inside, especially guard, it's an open competition over there. There's a lot of players, and you got to figure out who's our guard. So he's definitely going to be competing for a starting position.
Samuel Womack, I know he's only 5'10", but the man he's got that good length. And what are they doing over there? Are they playing cover 3? Is that what we're doing? Yeah. So, I mean, makes sense, right? Khalil Davis, maybe a 3 technique within that defense, get off the line. Got some work to do in terms of technique, but let him rush the passer. And then Brock Purdy, I think it's a perfect fit for him because the longer he holds onto the football, the more dangerous he becomes in terms of not a good thing, a bad thing for the offense. So I think that this scheme will help him get rid of the football. Not that we'll see him on the field, but if we do, I think it fits him very, very well.
I think the sleeper is Castro Fields, man. I watched a lot of his games, and I'm just gonna read off my notes, man. I think he's a very intelligent corner. He can mirror match. He competes, which is the main thing, because I seen him against the Ohio State boys, a trio of receivers, and he did well against them. I think he got beat inside by just Smith, man. But he beat him pretty good. But I think he competed against Garrett Wilson and Olave. He has good size. Yeah. He's not that ball hawking type of corner, but I think he could play out of phase and defend the boundary. Let me think.
Bro, when you
because you got to think about the scheme when you look at the 49ers. You know, they run that zone scheme on offense. So Davis-Price is a good fit because I thought he went earlier than I expected. I didn't expect him to go round 3, but when you think about the fit, and I like Danny Gray, I like Drake Jackson, so I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna
go with B+. They identified guys that they wanted. Got Drake Jackson and got Davis-Price. And I say it like that because, you know, he did my Gators dirty. And Danny Gray. I mean, when you just go down, there's no real, like, why did they go with that player? Like, you understand why they went what they went. You know what, man? I'm giving him an A-. Let me slide it on today.
A-.
Yeah, man.
No first round picks.
Man, no first round pick. A-. And no. You know what? B+. They don't get an A- because Trey Lance didn't play he barely played last year.
So Trey Lance?
Yeah.
Because that was a first round pick, right?
That was a first round pick. Yeah.
Got you.
Best pass protector in the class, good feet, great hands. I would like for him to be a better run blocker, but at the same time, they didn't really do that. So I'm not gonna say he can't do it. Just you hadn't seen enough of it to say he can consistently do it over and over and over.
I agree. I think Seattle got it right. Finally addressed the offensive line.
Sure.
They were last in the league in pressure percentage. That means they were getting after their quarterback time after time. They drafted 2 tackles, and Cross, to me, man, the first thing when you watch the tape, it stands out is his hands. It's like boxer-like, and then his feet moving unison with his hands. And he was even though he only played 2 years, I think he was the most NFL-ready tackle in this class, in a loaded class with Evan Neal and Ickey. I think it was them 3 at the top of the class, and Seattle I think they're fortunate to get him to drop here at the 9th pick in the draft.
Boye Mafe, Senior Bowl. He was probably the first player that caught my eye outside of obviously Jermaine Johnson. That first step, bro, might be the best in class from the edge.
Him and Tibbs.
Bruh, that thing is unbelievable. And I was hoping he'd fall to the Bucks, but they did what they did. I mean, he actually did fall to the Bucks, but they did what they did. They got that guy. Almost did, hurt. But Boye Mafe, I like the pick here, and I like what they did later with another edge player. And I think they got you got your flash in Mafe, and you got your stalwart, your Stonewall, and Tyreek Smith later.
Yeah, Boye Mafe, top of the second, man. A+ pick right there. Quick get off. I like how he uses his hands. He's very active. Quick twitch. Like you said, that first step, man, it's like it's still Thibodeau to me. That first step is different, but Mafe is right behind him, man. And what I like about him, Mafe, a lot also is his coverage ability. He could drop back in coverage. I know you probably want him rushing the quarterback, but
right.
He also could cover, man. He's excellent in coverage also. So a lot of potential here. Boye Mafe, I just want to see how Seattle uses him. How are they going to use him? Are they going to stand him up? Are they going to put him off ball? What are they doing with him? But he's an excellent prospect. He's the best pure running back in the class, like running the football. I know Breece Hall, flexibility, versatility as a pass catcher, but running the football, man, tough inside runner with the burst and speed. It kind of reminds me of Jonathan Taylor a little bit, where, Taylor was this guy that could run inside, but when you put that with the speed that they could break away from defenders, Kenneth Walker, he's like the perfect mix between Carson physicality and Penny's breaker home run speed. So definitely, I think he's gonna be the RB1 in Seattle pretty soon, man.
He gonna be what Penny should have been, and that I think that speed separates him, and that's why I think that Seattle went with him. And I mean, he's fun to watch. And when you think about the top running backs in this class, for the most part, most of them are pretty balanced, man. But Kenny Walker kind of is on one side of it in terms of that speed, that burst that you want from. And like you said, he's best pure runner, period, man. He's so good at the run, bro. I might take a hit in the pass game. We'll figure it out, bro.
No, you got to get another running back to pair with him. You know what I'm saying? In the pass catch. That's all you got to do.
The other thing, too, is he didn't really get a lot of chances to catch the ball at the backfield. I don't know if he can catch or not. I would assume he can. Just the 2 offenses he played in college just didn't get the opportunity for whatever reason. So we'll find that out. So he's coming from a air raid offense, much like Charles Cross did. And it's kind of interesting to see what's the plan, bro, because you got 2 guys coming from offenses that they didn't really run the football. They definitely didn't run the football. Washington State, them's is facts. But this is a guy who it looks like he's going to slide out there to play right tackle, I'm assuming, and we'll figure this thing out. I mean, Seattle is have an opportunity to compete. And listen, Seattle's one of these teams where, we'll just kind of plug and play and figure this thing out. I don't know if it'll work out, but, this is a guy who will get back, has quick feet. It's kind of a mystery because again, the thought is they want to run the football. So they kind of went the opposite with the picks they did. I understand the Cross thing. I get it. That makes sense. We'll figure that thing out with him. But Lucas is a little bit more of okay, I know you're trying to fix the offensive line, but did you have to go back to the well in terms of the type of player that you went and got?
Yeah, they doubled down on pass protectors. They haven't addressed offensive line enough for my liking. And like you said, it might just be an overcorrection. Let's get some pass protectors. We mentioned Andre Dillard earlier. Like, Abraham Lucas fits that mold more than Charles Cross. I'm not worried about Charles Cross as a run blocker, But Lucas, I definitely am. I think he needs to add some strength, some nastiness to his game. But he got the athleticism, pass set experience, good hands and feet to mirror. You know, he could block the passer, and it's kind of like Drew was saying. It's like, what direction are we going in, man? You got these three-headed monsters at running back. You want to run the football. You want to do play action, be nasty, be physical. But you got a tackle in Abraham Lucas that is kind of finesse, a pass protector. Can we teach him that?
Yeah, I think they did an outstanding job with this right here. Both these picks are A pluses for me. I know Coby Bryant kind of fell off after the Senior Bowl. Didn't really have a good Senior Bowl and didn't run well at the combine. But when you talk about the scheme that they're going to run here, both of these players fit. You talked about Woolen in terms of the size. Coby Bryant was the guy who played the zone part of that Cincinnati defense, while Sauce played the man part of the defense. So you know what Coby Bryant is. Seattle recognized it, so that's he's going to fit what we do here. And I mean, Woolen is Woolen. So with the size, speed, just got to use them hands and he'll be all right. I listen, A plus. Both these picks A pluses, man.
Yeah, I like them too, man. Like you said, the Seahawks scheme, how they develop their corners. They've done a good job of this throughout Pete Carroll's tenure there, and both these guys fitted. They're a little different. Coby Bryant, I like his instinctive nature. He gets his head around, gets his hands on the football, could turn the football over. And then Woolen is just, you know, he got the size, length, he got everything that Seattle usually like in their corners. So the scheme works. Like you said, Woolen has some more work to do. I think Coby Bryant's the better prospect, but Woolen has some work to do and it could eventually fit the scheme in Seattle. On Tyree Smith, I think Drew mentioned it earlier. You got the speed, the ball of fire, and Boye Mafe, and then you got the physical, the guy that's gonna nasty in the trenches, and Tyree Smith. Yeah, he's tough. He can shed blocks on the way to the ball carrier. He does need more pass rushing move, but he wins on a burst, strength. He disengages. He's just a lot to deal with for 60 minutes. You know, hands is always active. He keeps on coming. So, you know, I like his makeup, Tyree Smith.
Yeah, Bo Melton. For the two receivers, you know, when you talk about Bo Melton from Rutgers, a little bit smaller, and a guy who is going to win in the intermediate to short game. When you talk about a Tyler Lockett who can win anywhere on the field, from Rutgers, talk about a DK Metcalf, he's a guy who, you know, is a little bit smaller and a guy who is going to win. I believe he can win anywhere on the short game. Just kind of how you talk about a Tyler Lockett throwing a win anywhere on the field, who can win underneath and be that mismatch against the linebacker. Is the downfield threat, but I'm gonna go A. They don't get the plus because I'm not sure about the Lucas pick. I like that they went offensive line. I just don't know what's going on there. But the rest of the picks, man, listen, they did a damn good job. And this is one of the teams that I was going there like, these boys, they're gonna screw up the whole draft. You know, it's that one team that just go in there, go left, go way
Seattle.
left.
It's always
you know Seattle. It's always Seattle. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't know what they was gonna do with that first pick. And listen, they did what they were supposed to do. They didn't think outside the box. They did exactly what should have been done, and then they followed that up continuously with every pick after that.
Yeah, I just wonder, was there a different voice in the room?
Might have been, bro.
Because somebody had to come in there, man. Because this is not unlike Seattle, in my opinion. They usually don't go offensive line. They usually reach. They usually go West Coast.
Yep.
And there's a lot of East Coast guys over here, man. Physical. I love the class, man. And I'm gonna go with A.
Look, before you go, just real quick, they had to throw that one Washington guy in there, and it's the mystery pick, right?
The one West Coast, yeah.
They had to do it, bro, and they did it. So